tax be increased? Here's a better question. If a kid comes up to you and asks you to buy him rat poison, are you going to do it? Of course not. See, alcohol tax should be increased. Don't believe me? Alright, let me tell you a sweet, juicy story. That's true. There's once a cute boy named Charlie. Cute, like me, but you see, he didn't always have that good-go-lucky life. In fact, he had a father named Rick, and Rick was an alcoholic. You see, Rick would feel very stressful from his company if they don't meet the demands, and the CEO would just eye dog, make him even more stressful. So before heading home, he would go to the bar and get drunk. And after heading home, they have a nice dinner. The dinner consists of 3 people. The mom, Charlie, and Rick. And the scenario is always something like this. Rick, can you please try to eat your food? Well, Cheryl, maybe I can, if you know how to cook. Charlie couldn't accept that fact that his parents were fighting. So he went upstairs crying in his bed. He heard something. Charlie got scared. He ran to the wardrobe, opening it, hoping to buy Narnia. But instead, he found hangers and belts. Didn't help him. So he went to the corner and cried. He heard something. Charlie, Charlie, Daddy's here. Charlie stepped back and said, Daddy, no! Daddy, yes! The next day, Charlie had a black eye and a couple broken ribs. But that was just the beginning. For you see, years later, Charlie fell in love in a 3-year relationship with a girl named Sarah. But something wasn't right here. So he took his girl to a nice restaurant, and he asked her for her phone. Hey Sarah, can I see your phone? Yeah, I want to write you a cute message. Oh no, he didn't. He actually scrolled down. He found something. Enrique? Who's Enrique? He kept on. Hey baby. What? Oh, you know, it might be the dad. I miss you too, winky face. What's going on? He doesn't look at me, his heart's so sad. Sarah? Are you cheating on me? There. Sarah's bottom became like an earthquake. With waterworks. Charlie couldn't accept it. He ran out of that restaurant to his best friend's house, which is located across the street. Very convenient. He hugged him. It's not fair. It's not fair. What am I trying to say? Charlie found out that he couldn't deal with the pain. No, you remember right there, his father. He went to his whiskey cabinet, drank for the first time. That day, Charlie found the cure for his pain. That same day, Charlie became an alcoholic. So now Charlie goes to the bar very frequently with his best friend John. But he knew something was up again. Wait a minute. How come before I could order X amount of beers, but now I could only order this much? So he then went to the computer and got his sticky little fingers on a keyboard. He looked both ways just to make sure. What the? Border of equalization? What is that? He clicked on it as source. Excise taxes? What is that? Excise taxes, aka known as sinner's tax, is hidden tax on alcohol, tobacco, and cigarettes to discourage people from buying this. Wow, Charlie said. Why would people do this? Right next to it is the statistics that show it decreased by 23%. Unbelievable. Why? Charlie said, why would people do this? He went to psychology, needs, and wants. He found out that people are more prone to go to their needs, which follows to their everyday life. So later, it could go to their wants, which goes to a rotation, which is a routine. Now, this corresponds to the fact that why would Charlie find out? Because Charlie was a boy who was abused by his father because he was an alcoholic, right? He then found a way how to deal with things because he followed in the footsteps of his father. So this corresponds back to my question. Should alcohol tax be increased? Yes. As explained why, I would like to go to these 3 areas. The prohibition of alcohol in 1920, secondly, the economic point of view, and finally, the outcome. So, in 1920, in the Culinary Wine of Art, the government wanted to ban alcohol. Why? Because they wanted to hide the bad influence from the family inside from out. Apparently, alcohol was actually not a problem during that time. So, when they banned it, guess what happened? Bam! 30% people were drinking more alcohol. Mafias, bootlegger gangs were just arising from it. Something the government was trying to prevent. Wow, that sucks. 13 years later, after that failed attempt, it was the most fueled economic thing during the Depression. So the government decided to legalize it, otherwise known as the 23rd Amendment, guess what happened? Bam! Another 30%. That meant more depression, drunk driving, neglection, all that bad stuff. Something the government was trying to prevent. So let's look at the economic point of view. As I think about what I'm trying to say, I'm trying to tell you guys that what happened if we're raising alcohol taxes? As we look at the statistics of Board of Equalization, we could see that it decreased domestic violence, drunk driving, all the neglection conflicts. It discourages people from buying it. But is that a good thing? Yes or no? Yes. Yes, because it helps regulate people from drinking the amount of alcohol they used to drink before. But no. No, because it doesn't solve the problem. It actually prolongs it. Which brings to the final point, the outcome. So in the outcome, we already discussed all the good stuff about decreasing, right? But we don't see the reality. The reality is, a self-individual who's an alcoholic has to deal with this new area where he can't drink anymore, to hide his pain, to run away in the back like this. No. Instead, he has to face the conflict himself, which means this is a great possibility and a higher chance for the family to strengthen as a whole and as a group, which proves in theory, no, not in theory, in fact, that most family members go to a better distance without alcohol. So in my speech, we discussed about the prohibition of alcohol in 1920, the economic point of view, how it decreased everyone from drinking, and finding the outcome, all the positivity that comes from this. My question again, should alcohol tax be raised? Yes. Not only because of the negativity, but the positive outcome of this. And I would like to thank you all for listening, and I would like to bid you all an adieu.